Okay, hello, Team Impact. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to move on to chapter, um, I believe this is chapter 4. We're going to be using, involving fractions, multiplying and dividing, adding and subtracting. So we're going to go ahead and get started with multiplying a fraction and a whole number. This is lesson 2. We skipped lesson 1 of estimation. One of the core focuses here is called the commutative property. The commutative property just says, simply that you can switch the order of the numbers and get the same answer. The commutative property only works for addition and multiplication, so that's important. Division, no. Subtraction, no. Just multiplication and addition. So let's go ahead and get circled up and get into the homework. We're going to go 1 through 24 tonight. So a lot of reps, but you need a lot of reps. Okay, so we need to get working with this. And let me flip this page here. Actually, we're going to switch that up. Okay, we're going to go 1 through 10, and then 18 through 24. Okay, I didn't like the look at those other problems I remembered. So anyway, let's get started. We're going to jump to the guided practice, which is on page 268, and then get after it here. Okay, so we're going to multiply and write in simplest form. Okay, so today is a whole number and a fraction, but really what we're going to do with this whole number is we're going to put it in fraction form. So what do I mean by that, right? Well, I mean, let's go ahead and rewrite this problem and put 10 over 1. I can put any number over 1 to put it in a fraction times 4/5. Okay. Now, the first one I'm going to do without factoring and simplify at the end. The next ones I'm going to simplify when I get to the problem. And you're going to see the difference. And it's called factoring. So all you do when you multiply fractions is you multiply the top. 10 times 4 is 40. And 1 times 5 is 5. Okay. And then you'll need to simplify. These both have a common factor of 5 because this ends in a 5 and that ends in a 0. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 40 divided by 5 is 8. Any number over 1 is the number on the top. So we end up with 8. So you'll notice that I divided both of these by 5 and got a simplified answer of 8. Now, look how I do it with the rest of these, because we're going to go ahead and factor out throughout the problem. And this is really what I want you to focus on, okay? 2 over 1 times 3/4. Now, I could multiply through, but there's an easier way, in my opinion. I'm going to look for a top to bottom combination, and I'm going to look for something that's common. What do I mean? Well, I'm going to look for a common factor. You see how 2 and 4 are top to bottom? So I'm going to divide both of these by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay? Now, we're going to go ahead and multiply through 3 and 2. Now, 3 over 2 is an improper, so I could chop that down. 2 goes into 3 once. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract and get 1. 1 is my numerator, and my denominator doesn't change, so it's 1 1/2. Okay? So what I did was I divided both of these by 2. And again, there's nothing else to divide, right? Top to bottom. Let's go to the next one, number 3. 3/8 times 11 over 1. Now, first thing I look for is to identify top to bottom combinations that I could factor. There are none, right? There are none, because 1 will go into any of these, but I end up with the same thing, and 8 and 3 have nothing in common. So let's just go ahead and multiply through and chop it down. 8 goes into that 4 times. That's 32. And I end up with 4 and an 8th, right? See, that's our new numerator, and our denominator doesn't change. 3 over 7 times 9 over 1. Now, we're looking for top to bottom. The first thing you're going to say is, hey, no, you can't, because they're both on top. It has to be a top to bottom combination. So we need to multiply through. All right, 27 over 7. And then we need to chop this down. 7 3s are 21. I get 6. 6 is my new numerator. My denominator doesn't change, 3 6/7. So we got a chance to factor on this one, and we could have done it here, but these two just didn't factor. There was nothing to reduce. Okay, let's continue on in the homework here and do the first, 6 together here or so. Okay, so 20 over 1 times 3 over 4. Looking for a top to bottom combination. Do I see one? Sure do. Right here, 4 and 20 have a common factor of 2, but if I get a greater one, I could use 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 20 divided by 4 is 5. I have nothing but ones on the bottom. Let's multiply the top, the bottom, and we end up with that. Let's go again. 14 over 1 times 2 over 7. Top to bottom combination. There it is. It's yelling at you. Divide both of these by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 14 divided by 7 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4 over 1, which equals 4. Right? So again, this is called factoring, and we're just reducing the fractions. 10 over 1 times 1/5. Top to bottom combination. You clearly can see that one. Divided by 5, divided by 5. 2 over 1 is 2. Okay, we're doing good. Let's keep up. 3/4 times 6 over 1. Now, again, we're not allowed to go top to top. It has to be a top to bottom combination. And I see one. These are both even. And what goes into any even number is 2. So watch this. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. There's nothing left. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 1 is 2. And we need to switch that to a mixed number. 2 goes into 9 4 times. That is 8. Subtract and get 1. 4 1/2. Okay, we're doing all right? Here we go. We're going to do 2 more here. 2/5 times 11 over 1. Looking for a top to bottom combination, and there is none. 5 doesn't go into that. 2, no, nothing. So 2 times 11 is 22. 5 times 1 is 5. Let's chop it down, right? 5 goes into 22 4 times. Subtract and get 2. 4 and 2, 2/5. Remember, the denominator stays the same. That's our numerator. Okay. Last one. And I'm going to draw a line to separate here. 1/4 times 6 over 1. Okay. There is nothing directly, but these two do have a common factor of 2, which is going to help us. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 1 is, 2. And if I chop that down, at 1 1/2. Okay. So that's what we're looking to do. We're going to do a lot more factoring after this. I would highly recommend you do this and not try to simplify at the end, because here's what's going to happen. The problems are going to get bigger and more advanced. And if you don't learn how to factor with these easier problems, it's going to be an issue. So it is. Okay, guys, finish up the homework, what we circled. Have a good day.